Welcome to Vintage Variety. Today I'm going to be showing you some tools and some simple techniques that you can use to repair pieces of jewelry, whether they are fashion pieces, vintage pieces, or antique pieces. This content is in collaboration with Pandahall Selected, a supplier of beautiful jewelry making parts. Today I'm going to show you guys how I repair jewelry. I'm going to start by showing you some of the pieces I plan to repair today. I'm going to repair this brooch. This is a Trifari brooch and it's an Alfred Felipe. I have two of these. One is in really good condition and this one you can see is missing some pearls. I'm also going to repair this. This is a necklace and bracelet set and this came in a Goodwill bag. And fortunately, when I got to looking down inside the bag, I found the little pieces. So we're just going to put these back in and I'm going to be showing you the kind of glue that I use to do that with. This necklace is a Leah Sophia and it is broken. We're going to repair this. This is another necklace. As you can see, it's also broken. We'll be repairing that. Vintage bracelet, but you can see the centerpiece is missing. We have this necklace. This is a statement piece, and you can see that it's missing an entire part on this side. Another thing I'm going to be talking about today is repurposing and crafting. What you should or should not repurpose, what's repurposable and what is repairable. I'll also be showing you things that I keep on hand for making simple jewelry repairs. Often when I buy jewelry jars or jewelry bags or lots of jewelry and there are broken pieces, I don't throw those pieces away. I save them because I may need them later on to repair something. I also have a kit and I also keep lots of spare parts that I can use for repairs like this little kit on hand. Basic tools. I showed these in the last content that I did. I have some flat nose pliers, some wire cutters, some bent nose pliers, round nose pliers. There are a lot of different jewelry tools that you can buy. You can get them at craft stores. You can get them at a Walmart. It's good to have these tools on hand for when you are making repairs to jewelry. Before we get started, I did want to show these again. These were in the previous two videos that I did. These are from Pandahall, and this content, once again, is in collaboration with Pandahall. So I wanted to show you these beautiful beads in case you didn't see the previous videos, and also these beautiful filigree connectors or stampings. Pandahall has really quality beads and jewelry supplies for repairing jewelry and making your own jewelry. I especially like these filigree pieces. Now, in the last content, I did show something I had made using a layering effect. And today, before we get started on these repairs, I'm going to show you another piece. And this is going to be part of this content because I'm going to show you how I'm going to turn this piece that I wired together into a brooch. If you're interested in Pandahall Selected, or if you're interested in purchasing these beads, in the description box, I will put a link to their website and to both of these products. Once again, to do this content, I'm using a tripod, so you guys please be patient with me. This is something that's totally new for me. One thing I want to point out with this necklace is it is missing some pieces, small rhinestone pieces that have, at one time or the other, fallen off or broken off of this necklace. To me, that's not noticeable. To me, this necklace is still perfectly wearable. The only problem with this is that it is broken. So if we turn it over on the back, you can see this needs a jump ring. So that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to replace the jump ring that's missing from this necklace. I did show in the last content, when you're opening a jump ring, you want to twist to open it up. There we go. So I've looped it through one side, and now I'm going to attempt to loop it through the other. We're just going to twist it back together. Give a little pressure to push in. There you have it, all repaired. Just a simple jump ring, and this necklace is good to go. This next necklace is a Leah Sophia. Together the same way, it has jump rings. So there's one side. These little pliers are actually like a second set of hands. There's the other side. And let's see how that looks. This is more of a statement piece. I do not believe it's all that vintage, but it's a perfectly good necklace, except for the fact that it's missing this piece on this side. In the past, I've seen a lot of jewelry makers that buy vintage necklaces and vintage pieces of jewelry and they break them apart to make their own creations. I just can't see doing it. There's only so much vintage jewelry out there. I've seen pieces that people have made out of vintage jewelry that would have been repairable, and they've literally destroyed something that was not only collectible but quite valuable. The question, I guess, is to repurpose or craft with pieces or not to. If it's a piece that's repairable, if it's a piece that's not so broken or degraded that it can't be fixed, this I would not craft. I'll show you what I would do, and we're going to do this together today. I would remove this piece, and I would use these here and here. Now, whether or not to leave this long piece is a matter of preference. My thought would be to shorten it. I want it to look symmetrical. I would take this bottom piece off. Probably asking, well, why wouldn't you just take this bottom piece off and use it here? Well, the answer to that is because I would still be missing a bead here if I did that. I'm going to repair this the best way possible, in my opinion. If you don't agree, you can always let me know in the comments. Let's just remove this piece. I'm going to save the jump ring off of it. And just loop this one on here. Bend it back down to close it. I'm going to add the largest ball back to this. There we go. I believe by taking the bottom piece off, it makes it look a lot more symmetrical, seeing how it doesn't have these large pieces here anymore. Now I'm going to repair this bracelet, and all of these repairs, guys, are really simple repairs that anyone can do. I'm not an expert on repairing jewelry. I'm not a jeweler. I did look for a bracelet like this online. I did a reverse Google search, and the bracelet that I came up with that was identical to this, it had a cameo in the center. It was a black cameo. Bag that I bought. I believe I got this off of Etsy sometime back. It was someone's detache. They were, I guess, jewelry makers, and this was parts that they had for sale. So I want to use something that's going to look like a cameo, and I came up with this piece. I feel like this piece is going to be the right size and the closest. Just going to see if it fits in here. And it does. Take the back side of my pliers because they are rubber coated and they're really soft. And I am just going to press these down. And there you have it. It's nicely repaired. If I wanted to make sure that it was really secure in here, I would probably use some glue. And the glue that I like to use for gluing and repairing jewelry is E6000. Probably going to do is I'm probably going to go on the inside and use one of these little tips that come in this package and just add a little bit of E6000 very lightly on the inside, just to make sure that it has a really secure hold. Guys, a really close look at this. It is waterproof, it dries clear, and it's a permanent bond. And this one you can buy in any craft store. It's for jewelry and beads. This is a Trifari Alfred Felipe brooch. It's missing a pearl. It's also missing a rhinestone. I don't have a small rhinestone to repair it. However, I do have a pearl that we can repair this with. We have this one, and it's also missing a couple of pearls. We're just going to use this E6000 glue, and we're going to glue some pearls back in to replace the missing ones. Now, one thing that you need to look at when you're doing stuff like this is to make sure that your pearls are going to match up in the color. These pearls that you see here, they have almost a yellowish tint to them, or a golden tint. So we want to make sure that the pearls we use are going to match up with them. What I've done is I've matched up some pearls in color, and I've placed them to see how they're going to look. When you're doing this, you don't really have to use a lot of glue. Just going to dot it on there. If you use too much glue, it's going to squish out when you put the piece in. I'm just going to press gently. Do the same thing here. We're just going to add a little dot. Press gently. This glue sets up fairly quickly. It shouldn't take too long to dry. Now, if this was a piece that I was going to resell, I would definitely put in the description, if I were listing it, that it had been repaired. That way the buyer would know that it was not in its original condition. Now we're going to do the same thing with this brooch. This is a lot smaller, so we're going to be very careful with applying the glue. There we have it. It's in very good condition. You can see there's no missing rhinestones, but the centerpiece is missing. If I had to guess, I would say the centerpiece was probably a large flat rhinestone. I don't have anything like that, but what I do have is this very old plastic piece. I believe this was a small pendant at one time. You can see where a piece that would have screwed in here. And I'm going to just take this and I'm going to glue this in to the center of this. And I think this is going to make a really pretty necklace. Again, you do not want to get overzealous with the glue because you can make a huge mess. Just going to press that down in there. And there you have it. To repair these pieces, I'm basically going to do the same thing. I'm going to put a little bit of glue in here. As I mentioned earlier, I was fortunate enough to find these pieces loose in the bag. This piece is a brooch. It's done in a very lightweight plastic. You can see on the back that this is from West Germany. This has a piece missing here, and it also has a little bit of the paint worn off. Now, the way I would repair the paint chips is I would try to find a nail polish that matched up with the color and just very carefully paint over this. Don't have anything to match it right now, but what we are going to do is I'm going to put a pearl right here using some glue. Just going to press really gently. If I want to finish repairing this, I'll probably take this with me or wear it into a store and just hold the bottle of nail polish up to it and see if I can match the color. Now we have this piece that I showed earlier, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a pin back on it to make it into a brooch. You can buy these bar pin backs like this, and these can be wired on or glued on. For the purpose of this video, I'm going to glue them on. Now, if you were repairing a brooch, that is something that you could do. You could use your wire cutters and cut off the old pin, and you could glue a new one onto the back. I'm not sure if that is something I would recommend, especially if it was a brooch that was quite valuable. What I always recommend for repairing pin backs on brooches is that you take it to a jeweler and have it repaired there if it's a valuable piece of jewelry. If it's a piece of jewelry that's not that valuable and you're handy with a soldering iron, you could try to make these repairs yourself and solder them on. I would be very careful about doing that just so that you didn't damage the piece. Or the safest route would be to use some E6000 and to glue a new pin onto the back after removing the old one. So that's what we're going to do with this. We're going to glue a pin onto the back of it to make this into a brooch. So I've applied my glue and I'm just going to press down. This is where your pliers will come in quite handy. If you get glue on your pliers, you can clean that off with a little bit of acetone nail polish remover. The last piece of jewelry that I'm going to repair today is going to be this choker. This choker is missing this part, and this part came off of a very old, degraded, broken strand of pearls. So you can see it's missing the hook part. However, this is identifiable by this. This necklace is a Coro. I've done content on that, and I will link it in the description box below this video in case you haven't seen it. But this automatically tells me that this necklace is a Coro because this is one of the pieces that you'll often see on Coro necklaces. Fortunately, this piece is not going to say Coro. This piece says Japan. Let me see if I can zoom in on it. See right there, it says Japan on it. But this is all I have. That would be the equivalent of what was on the necklace originally, so this is what I'm going to use. And there we have it. It's attached, and that makes this necklace once again wearable. When I'm finished using my E6000, what I like to do is I remove the top along with the little piece that I used on the end. What I've done here is I've just taken some acetone nail polish remover. This is 100% acetone. And I've poured it into the lid, and I'm just going to let this set for a minute, and then I'm going to rinse it out. We'll keep the glue from clogging this up and making it impossible to reuse again. Here's a better view of some of the pieces that we repaired today. I want to thank you for taking time out of your day to share this content with me. I hope this information has been useful to you. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications on more content about collecting vintage and antique items. Thank you again for watching, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.